Good evening, everyone. We're back again for another great discussion. Tonight, we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence. My name is Glenda Woolfolk, and I'm the CEO and founder of the No Sister Left Behind nonprofit organization. I'm turning it over to Ms. Pam.
Hi, my name is Pam Walker, and I'm the Vice President of No Sister Left Behind. And I'd just like to remind you to share. Share this button with, share this program with your friends and family. We have some great information that may help someone tonight.
Thank you, Pam. We're going to move a little bit further on. I thought Pam was going to say something about membership, but she's
Well,
probably
Pam can say something about membership if you'd like. I was going to hold on to it until the end. But as you know, membership is very important to any organization, and it's very important to ours as well. If you're not already a member, I would urge you to consider becoming a member. Memberships are $50 per year. But the thing about membership, if you believe
Here we go.
in the goals that we have set here at No Sister Left Behind, if you believe in our mission to help um, um, to help sisters in our community, to get them the information that they need that could better their lives, then I would urge you to be a part of this. We're not a sorority. We're just women helping women. And so I would urge you to think about a membership with us. You can go to No Sister Left Behind, the number 2.org, and look at our website, see what we're about, see the programs that we're trying to present to the community. Also, on Facebook, if you can go back and look at some of the programs that we have brought to you on Saturday of great subject matter. I think that if those intrigue you, I would become a part of No Sister Left Behind.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Ms. Pam. So we're going to move forward into our program, and we're going to talk about emotional intelligence. And our guest for this evening is Tiffany J. Norwood. Yeah. So we're excited on having her in. When Tiffany approached me, she talked to me about what she does and emotional intelligence. And I just thought it was very interesting because what she does, her work is with men. But she agreed to come on and talk to us about emotional intelligence and what it is. So I'm going to let Tiffany tell you about Tiffany Norwood.
Thank you so much, Glenda and Pam and No Sister Left Behind for having me here today. It is a pleasure and an honor. I am Tiffany J. Norwood, founder and CEO of Your Emotions Matter, transformational speaker and author, and also a Raise Ambassador who helps children, young children with child abuse and educating the county of Orange in order to help children become stay safe, happy, and healthy.
That's good. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. You shortened that bio really good. That's really she has a long bio. But thank you, Tiffany. Thank you. And we appreciate the work that you're doing and what you do. So tonight we're going to start our questions, and we're going to start with Ms. Norwood telling us about what is emotional intelligence.
Emotional intelligence is the ability to use the brilliance of your emotional state and of others to help you make appropriate and effective choices. It's a range of things like being empathetic to being self-regulated or having self-control, also being self-aware and being aware. So it's several things, but that is the outcome of it. It's just making smart choices, being smarter with your feelings.
Okay, being smarter with your. Can you give us an example about what it does it mean to be smarter with your feelings? Can you just
What
give
it
us an
means to
example?
be smarter with your
With your,
feelings is being able to become in tune with yourself, to be able to listen to yourself, to be able to take that information and process it and take time. Okay. Sometimes we lack that time. We take the time
Mhm.
to come out to the right choice, come out to the right decisions based on the data that we receive from ourselves.
Okay, good, good. All right. My second question is, how did you learn about emotional intelligence? So tell us your story, beginning to.
Oh, I don't know if we have that much time, Glenda, but I'm convinced that as well.
Okay.
I learned about emotional intelligence years ago, maybe about eight or so years ago. I was married at the time. I just wanted a marriage that was loving, respectful, supportive. But we both faced challenges, like including in unruly emotions, emotional abuse, and just constant disrespect. It was just an unhealthy marriage, and of course, we wanted to work. I wanted it to work. We just wanted to figure out what can we do to make it work. And counseling did not work, and that was just only 2 sessions, and that was even pulling teeth. But what happened was is that I just did research, and I was doing research, and I came across emotional intelligence, and then it all started to make sense. So I spent time researching and studying on the subject, and I took personal time out for myself while giving my husband space. And during that time, my mindset just changed from positive to negative, and it just started to feel like empowerment. I learned during that time that it was important not only for me, but also for anyone in a relationship, that you learn about yourself as well as about how to navigate your feelings so they won't become so overwhelming. Because when they do, we know what happens. So during that time, I learned and that I could just tap into my own feelings to make the right choices and just be so in tune with myself. Of course, that's what emotional intelligence means as well. And so that's how I learned.
Mm-hmm. Through the experience with your in your marriage.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. I mean, Pam, you can jump in if you have a question or anything. So we're going to move right on to the third question. The third question is, why is it important to seek as much knowledge as you can about emotional intelligence?
It's very, very important not only to seek information about emotional intelligence, but as much as you seek it, you want to start practicing it in your own life. Our emotions are a part of us. Our emotions, they have their own little center in your brain. They run through your body. They transmit data, energy all through your body. You can feel it physically. You just feel it. So it's something that we have within ourselves as a part of our makeup as a human being that we should not ignore. So sometimes we get to that mindset of just, oh, I'm just going to suppress, or I may not want to talk about how I'm feeling right now. But that's information and data that we're pushing aside, that we're not allowing ourselves to feel. So it's very, very important for us to get to know our emotions, because they are friends. They are our allies. It's who we are as a human being. It's a part of who we are. Other organs in our body, we need everything we were given by God, and our emotions are one of them.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you this, because I think when you talk about our emotions, and it's something that we have, and we know that's an element that we do have as human beings. We have that. When you say that we need to tap into our emotions, what are you meaning by that?
When we tap into them, is to just basically take time to self-reflect, and to listen, and do your self-introspection. So self-reflection, self-introspection is very important, to take time out of your busy day to get to know you, and to take and get that self-awareness going, to get to know your habits, get to know what you like, what you don't like, what reoccurring frustrations do you have in your life that it just seems to keep going on, that you just can't seem to break. Everything that you can think of that you need to learn about yourself, whether it's good, bad, the ugly, it doesn't matter. You have to take time to know you. So when you get to know you, you're tapping into yourself. You're becoming more in tune with your body. You're becoming more in tune with your feelings and how you're feeling, why you're feeling it, how long you're feeling it, where it is in your body. You can feel emotions in your stomach, in your neck, in your head. I mean, everywhere. So it's just becoming in tune with yourself.
Okay. So when you talk about reoccurring, are you talking about what if I was in a situation where say at work or something like that, and my emotions take over because maybe I was offended by a coworker and things get a little heated. So I need to control that. Is that what you're saying? I need to control how I address the situation. Is there a way to control that by addressing the situation another way? Does emotional intelligence help me in that area?
Definitely, absolutely. I would use more of the word navigate as opposed to control.
Okay.
Our emotions initially come right away, but then we do have to. Emotional intelligence helps us learn how to give it time. Give us time to really understand what that emotion is trying to tell us at that particular time. And then while we're trying to understand what it's telling us, it's giving us that space as well to figure out our choices. What choice do I have in this situation with this person? Okay. What choice do I have to respond? It's emotional intelligence is about responding versus reacting. And a lot of times we just fly off the handle and we would just react. But what we want to do is take that time in that space to understand and just really just access what is the choices I have that will move this direction, the situation in the direction that's best for not only myself, but the person that's involved as well.
Okay. So it's kind of like, I mean, it's called emotional intelligence, but it's kind of like using intelligence to handle your emotions.
Yeah,
before you get it across,
that's true.
before things get worse. Okay, all right. Okay.
That's true. I just want to let you know, just if you see like a initials EQ, it's like IQ. Like we known about IQ forever, but then EQ is emotional quotient, like intelligence quotient. So whenever, if I was to say EQ later in the podcast, or you see it somewhere, you know that it just means emotional intelligence.
Okay. All right. Miss Pam, you got any questions? Nothing? You good? Let me unmute you.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe. So how does that work? In the scenario that Glenda gave you, let's say that you're at work and you have an issue with a coworker, a boss, supervisor, whatever, and how does that work in real time? I know I need to be in control of my emotions. We all know that. So, but how does what you do help someone in a situation like that?
Okay. The one thing I would advise is to have a conversation with this person, and I would definitely, because it's going to continue on the way it is, because you're going to be how you're going to be. That person's going to be how they're going to be. But it's okay to have a conversation. It don't have to be long or drawn out or anything, but just to just air out the elephant in the room. And then that's one thing that you can do. Emotional intelligence is just about being able to navigate yourself. And another thing I would advise, because as we go down, like the process that I go through with you becoming so more in tune with yourself, you're going to get to the point where that person will not push your buttons. No matter what that person says, no matter what that person does, you're going to just expect that that's who that person is, and that's what they're going to do. And you're not going to allow that person to derail you from your day. That's I don't know, say her name is Susie or whatever. I mean, okay, Susie. All right, Susie. And you just continue to use the feelings that you want to feel that day. You want to feel happy. You want to feel joyful. You want to enjoy your day. You use those feelings, and you continue to navigate into those particular direction, to whatever it is you need to do. Listen, I don't know if you can listen to music or whatever you can do that can just bring joy into your day, to keep you in a positive mindset. This is about positivity as well. And so just keeping yourself grounded in a positive mindset, and just not allowing her to push your buttons. I mean, when you're emotionally intelligent, you're not moved. You're not moved by what's outside of you. You're so in be able to navigate the feelings inside of you, that what goes outside of you is none of your business. None of your business. What someone said, what someone's done should not affect you to the point where you would fly off to the handle. It gets you to that point, and I'll take you through the steps to get there as well.
Okay. So I'm sorry, Pam. Were you
Oh,
finished,
thank
Pam?
you. I understand it a little bit better. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I think with emotional intelligence, you're telling us that it'll keep us from going into areas that are not healthy as far as our thinking pattern, or it'll help us control or navigate. We have a question that says, please define navigation when it comes to emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Navigate is just saying, hey, what am I feeling? Okay, I'm feeling bored. I'm feeling frustrated. Okay, why am I feeling frustrated? Okay,
Mm,
and then you start to just take that space. It's
mm,
important to take that space and that time out to listen to yourself and self reflect on it. And if you just have to remove yourself from a situation at one point to do so, then you do.
mm,
But when you're learning your self awareness, you're doing this on your own. You're doing this
mm,
just without having to be at work or any other type of situation. You're
mm,
secluding yourself by yourself. You're meditating. You're practicing mindfulness. You're taking steps to slow all the busyness down in your head. And you're taking steps to slow all of that busyness down that goes off through your day. Certain things can be put till tomorrow, but you need to take self-care and take care of yourself and your emotional state, and to get you to that point to what I was talking about earlier, because it's right now you're heated, but then when
yeah.
you start taking time out for yourself and you start learning and understanding how you may handle a situation, and move yourself into that process of okay, I'm going to handle that differently next time,
Mhm,
and you're hearing what your emotions are telling you, and then you're using
mhm,
that information to make the right choices for the situation. All
mhm,
again, we're talking time frames here, and it can be quickly because you're going to get better at it
mhm,
as you process it. But
mhm,
that time frame and that space that you're giving yourself is giving you time to think and process what's going on at the time, so you can come to the right outcome that's best for you and her. Sometimes just doing nothing is something. Doing nothing is sometimes can be the best outcome. So
mhm.
it's basically you again becoming more in tune with yourself, so you can gain that self-regulation, gain that self-navigation, so that no, and then down the line you're not gonna be moved. It's gonna be so hard for you to be moved.
Okay, okay.
And
So
if
it's
you
kind of
do,
like,
and
go
if
ahead.
you do, you'll know how to handle it.
So it's kind of like, in a way, kind of learning to choose your battles. Is it worth it? Is it? And because raised emotions not only can put you in a danger of saying something you shouldn't say, or doing something you shouldn't do, it also reflects in your health. Being
Exactly.
It also reflects in your high blood pressure. Because when you become emotional to not so much in crying because a loved one has passed, or maybe just being angry. I have gotten so angry before, and maybe cried a little bit because I was so angry, and that because I'm telling myself there's really almost nothing you can do about it. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? About a certain situation, not every situation, but certain
Yeah, yeah,
situations.
yeah.
So you're saying navigating using the tool of emotion.
Yeah, using the data and information that your emotions are giving you when you take the
Okay.
time to feel them. You have to learn to take the time to feel how you feel.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about the data that
Oh,
in your emotions? What
well,
that would be?
I probably would have to just give an example. The data is just saying, I don't know. Let's say you're on a first date
Okay.
and your date says something that puts you off,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts you off, and you're like, you go to the restroom and you're sitting there like, really, did he say that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you were put off. You're not feeling very good at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
so you're listening to yourself at this time, and
Mm-hmm.
you're saying like, oh, the fact that I feel put off right now is
Mm-hmm.
not a good thing. That could have been a red flag.
Okay.
Okay, so it's like you took your time, and then you said, you're like, you're listening to yourself right now. You're listening to the fact that you were put off, and then that, and you're thinking more into what he said, and it's like, okay, I'm not sure if I'm, digging that, but then you
Mm-hmm.
go back out and you're going to pay more attention to, what he says, how he says, and things like that. It's giving you that awareness.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's what EQ is about. That not only just self awareness, but just awareness in general of what's going on outside of you as well as on the inside of you.
Okay. And also your emotions can take you to a place that probably ain't even really there, but because you're feeling it, you know what I'm trying to say? You know, because sometimes we overthink. We overthink with our emotions, and we kind of start trying to put the stones in place, and we're overthinking about maybe some offense somebody did against us or something, and we overthink a situation, or somebody said something and we overthink it. That's an emotional way too. Am I correct, or is that?
Yeah. I would say just be careful. You're gonna know once you learn EQ, you're going to know that, hey, maybe what he said, he didn't excuse me, he didn't mean it that way, or maybe it's just the way he communicates or whatever. You can give people the benefit of the doubt, but you're going to be more aware to where you're going to start seeing patterns though. You're going to see the patterns in other people as well as you already know the patterns within yourself and what you continue to do or what it is that you may do that's not great, that you might want to just change within yourself. You'll be able to notice that in others. The better you become more in tune with yourself, the better you're going to be able to be aware and notice that in other people and be aware of that. So it's helpful. And then with the thinking part, we feel and we think. Those are two different things. And a lot of times we can overthink things. So that's where we want to put that space in within our feelings and our thinking, because a lot of times we think things that are just not true.
Right.
So you don't want to get that mixed up with your emotions as far as, okay, just because I feel like put off by this dude that, he's great, or that he's bad or whatever. It's that you have to be able to use your personal and feelings and intelligence to come out to the best outcome for you. Is this right for me? And then just continue on with that. It's going to all fall into place. But the better you get to know you, it's going to become more easier.
Okay, so I have a question on that. Using that same scenario where I'm on a first date and maybe someone has said something to me that disturbed me, or I didn't understand, or it was offensive to me, and I think about it because I'm emotional and intelligent now, and I say, well, you know what, I don't like that. Whereas maybe before I would just say, oh well, but now I know because it made me upset, and so I am in touch with my feelings and my emotions. What's the next step? I know that I didn't like it. Do I still sit there and take that, or do I hit the door? Do I call Uber?
Yeah, and that's right. We call it Uber. You know what? I'm glad you asked that question. It's really up to you, long as you make sure that you are safe. It just depends on what he said. It's okay to tell him that you were not feeling what he said. It's okay to be able to, and I would like to say that would be the first thing you would do, because since you're on a date, and since when we date, we just trying to get to know somebody, right? Let him know how you felt and see how he responds to it, because that'll tell you something about him and how he responds to how you feel. That's very important. Yeah. So I wouldn't hold it in, because that's you suppressing how you feel, because some people may just be like, you know what, I'm out. And that's what you want to do. You fine. It's not going to hurt anything. But since we're talking about emotional intelligence, when you feel a certain way right away, and then you're able to express it in an appropriate way, do so and catch it and nip it in the bud. Don't let it fester, because it will fester. They will become overwhelming. They will, by the end of the day, you hollering at him if you just keep letting them go. You know what I'm saying? So, or you just jumped up out and you just left without paying the bill, nothing without, I'm not saying you are paying the bill, but I'm just saying you just get up and run out. So without, going in that direction, you are just appropriately letting him know what it is, that you didn't feel, that made you feel uncomfortable, and listen to how he responds to you. And then that will give you some more information.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And I know that your most of your work is with men.
Yes.
Most of your work is with men, even though women still feel the same things. And you can go either way, I think, but we're talking about with men and women. But why do you think it's so important to know emotional intelligence? I know you said it's for the control of, is it really just stopping and thinking about what your reaction is going to be, or to give you said time and space between your emotion and yourself to get yourself together. Can you give me a little insight on that space there that we need to take?
Yes. The Global Emotional Intelligence Network is 6seconds.org. And because it's called 6 seconds, it takes about 6 seconds for an emotion to flow through your body. And if you want to navigate and move away from a particular emotion, give it that pause of 6 seconds. So it's because when we are in a situation, we can just use a dating one as an example. But if we're in a situation, we do 3 things. We're going to think about something, we're going to feel something, then we're going to take action. Okay, think, feel, think, act, or think, feel, act. There's all of that's going to happen, and what happens without emotional, without EQ, is that all of those things happen at the same time and we fly off the handle. Okay, so what we want, that space, is being able to put some space in between feeling and put some. Okay, you're feeling what? What is this feeling telling you? Where is this feeling coming from? Okay, now thinking. What am I thinking now? What do I want to do now? Let's just say I'm bored. Right? Okay. And then I decide I want to go to the refrigerator. Knowing this way I'm not hungry, but I'm just bored because I just want to go get some snacks or whatever. So I'm putting the space in between, and I can just say, hey, I'm not hungry. I'm just bored. I'm not going to get some chips. Okay. I don't need junk food right now. I'm just going to just chill out. Dinner be around soon. So that's you using your intelligence and by listening to your boredom and just kind of keeping you away from the unhealthy snacks. So it's the same thing in any situation. Is you just you're thinking about it and you're understanding what it's making you feel, and then you're going to take action. A lot of times you do. Sometimes you may not. And even when you don't take action, that is taking action. So when you take action, you're going to know that action is something that you want to do, that you because you had that time to put that space in that and you thought about it. You want to do that because it's going to be best for you and it's going to be best for them. No, it's not best that I yell right now. No, it's not best that I walk out the room and slam the door right now. And you just sit here. Sometimes it's really important. I just can't express that time to just be still. And because we're just on the go people, we're just on the go human beings. We just always got to feel like we got to move, and we have to learn how to practice mindfulness, and meditation can help with that as well.
Okay. So, is there a sequence of steps that one takes when they're confronted with an issue? Is there an ABC 1, 2, 3 that you recommend or that you teach in dealing with emotions?
And not as far as what we talked about it, the thinking, the feeling, and the acting is part of some steps. Okay, because we can switch them around, and there's different ways that we can do that. What I start with when I work with someone is to remove them from everything and everyone else, and have them focus on themselves and become self-aware. That is the prerequisite of being able to move forward with the choices and the great choices that you want to make in the future. So when you become self-aware and you learn about yourself and you learn things that you didn't even take time to learn, because when we grow up, everything outside of us is what our focus is on. We're focused on work. We're focused on our other relationships and what social media. It's a lot vying for our attention out there. So we're always on autopilot. And that means that our minds are just wandering from the past, wandering to the future. We're wondering can someone get this beeper, please? We're wondering, I'm sorry about that, you guys.
That's okay.
Our minds are just wandering from the past to the future. So we have to get ourselves off of autopilot and put ourselves in the present moment. And that's going to help us with the space that we're looking to fulfill. It's going to bring us in the present moment. And that is the best place to live. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not here. 5 minutes ago is gone. 5 minutes in the future is not here. And being totally grounded and present in what we're doing right now, as I am with you, two beautiful ladies, is the way we want to work towards living. It's going to be hard. We're not going to get to 100%, but it's going to be able to help us stay in control and help self-regulate ourselves, because we're going to have that space in our minds, and we're going to have that space of control for ourselves that we're going to be able to use when those times come that are challenging. When you sit and self-reflect and do that self-introspection, I wouldn't say it has to be daily, but often, it's like a muscle. It's going to build and it's going to become better, and you're going to come a lot better at it.
So then after self-awareness, what's next?
After self-awareness, you're going to choose yourself, and that is the choices that you're going to be able to choose, those different choices, and access whatever choices that you may have. It could be 5 choices, it could be 3 choices. Because you already know yourself, and then you're going to take time to choose what is right for not only you, but for the other person or the situation as a whole. So you're going to choose. So it's going to be knowing yourself. It's going to be choosing yourself, and then giving yourself. And the giving yourself is you having a purpose. What is the purpose of this situation? What is your goal? What do you want to see happen? A lot of times we fly off the handle, and things that happen is not what we want to happen. But what is it that you want to happen in this situation? That's going to help you drive your choices as well.
Okay. So whatever outcome you're looking for in the situation, whether it's choking them out or saying, I'm not going to choke them out. I'm not going to choke them out. So
don't do it, Miss Seeley.
Right, don't do it.
I know. We're going to get there. We're going to feel like choking somebody out, but emotional EQ is just, no, I'm not choking you out. I'm not choking.
Right. So that's where that space comes in at. It's taking the time to reflect.
Take that time, because it is so important to just be still. I cannot I'm trying to say, stress that enough.
Okay. So can you I'm sorry, Pam, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna go on to the next question if
okay.
You want
That's
me to? Okay.
Yes,
okay. So the next question that I have for you is basically, what are some tips that you can give to our audience today to start their journey in becoming more emotionally intelligent?
Okay. So I'm glad you asked that, and I did mention it. Excuse me, already. It's meditating. Start meditating. Start slow. Start small. It's super easy to do. Don't give up. Your thoughts are like they come and go in your mind. You wake up and all of a sudden you're into next week. Your thoughts are into next week. They're just constantly flowing. So meditation is going to help you slow down those brain waves and help you start with that space I was talking about in your own mind first. This is really, really helpful to do that. And what you want to do is start practicing it as much as you can. Don't give up. The thoughts will come. Let them come in. Let them go. Like, thoughts are like waves. Thoughts are like cars on the street. They come and go. And you don't want to judge them. You don't want to sit with one for too long. You just want to lay there in quiet stillness and give your body a chance to rest. Give your brain a chance to rest. So that's something that I would recommend starting, because, and again, to get that space, we need to start with ourselves and in our minds. And then just practice mindfulness. Look that up if you don't know what that is. Just being in the present moment, and just practice being in the present moment and grounding yourself. When I say grounding yourself, I just put my foot on the carpet. I'm touching my keyboard right now. I'm looking straight at the screen, and I'm being present with what I'm doing right now. I'm not worried about what I'm going to eat after we're done. I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday or anything like that. I am grounded right now in the present moment. Say your daughter or your someone comes to talk to you, get off your phone, mute the television, and put your attention directly on that person and hear what they have to say, and really be present with them. So be present in any and every situation you're in as much as you can. It's going to be hard to do 100%. That's a long time from now, but that's what you want to start practicing, and that will help you make the right choices as well, because you won't be caught off guard. If you're on your phone just scrolling and you're upset about something, and all of a sudden somebody come in the room with a blah 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 blah, next thing you know, you like blah 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 blah. You are on autopilot, number one. Number two, you were just, your mind was just spinning at the time. Let's just say you were still on social media, but you were just present, and you were you knew what you were doing. You were just present. And someone comes in and start blah 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 blah. Then you can just sit there and you're like, okay, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. Can you tell me more about that? And then you can just stay calm, because you've done your work. You're doing your work to bring yourself to that space of being able to self-regulate yourself. And the third one, I would like to. The third tip is journaling, and I do this till this day. It works so much. It's if you don't already do this, start this, and just take out a piece of paper and a pen. And what you're doing is getting all of your thoughts out of your mind. Like a lot of times we deal with things, not only suppress the things that we're dealing with, we just push it to the side and don't come back to it, or we're get into some type of mood and we won't deal with it. Well, journaling will get those feelings out. Journaling will get all of that stuff you're going through, no matter what situation is, big or small, doesn't matter. Even if it's about your day, even if it's something good. I suggest two of them. One of them you could start with a venting one, and then the other one, a grateful journal. And that's what's going to shift your mindset, because this is a mindset thing as well. You want to shift your mindset from negative to positive. And so being grateful with everything that you have, writing down what you're grateful for, morning, night, whenever, doesn't matter. Just keep a private journal just for everything you're grateful for. And that will start to shift your mindset, and you're going to just start seeing things come manifest into your life that you're grateful for. You're going to just start feeling more joyful and happy. And going back to something you said earlier, Glenda, about the emotions that makes you sick. Emotions can make you sick if you're constantly stressed, constantly worried, constantly in fear. It can take a toll on your physical body. So when you're doing your grateful journal and you're cultivating joy and happiness and gratefulness is the number one biggest emotion that you can feel. Like bring it into your life if it's not already there. But once you bring gratefulness in, your heart will love you. Your heart will, I'm talking about your physical heart, will love and thank you, and will just bring you whatever it is that you want, because you're in that positive state of mind. So those three things would be the tips I would say, just to start now, start today. And then I will be happy to take you through all the steps of EQ to get to understand yourself, and just take it with the situation that you have. And I can work with you just through your unique situation, and we'll go all the way through in a short period of time. I help you, shorten your learning curve.
Okay. I have just one question. Emotions don't always have to be toward another person. It can be something that's happening in your life, or maybe the inability to do something that you need to do. So what suggestions do you have for that? If say it's something like your rent or something is due and you don't have the funds, that brings an emotion of not being able to do something that you want to do or you need done. So do you work the same way with that as well? Because emotion's not always with another person.
Exactly. It's the emotion EQ is about yourself and other people, because it goes with the empathy of being able to feel their emotions as well. You can see what someone else is feeling. You can empathize with them as well. But yes, with your own self, it's the same thing. It's not being just with your example. It's not just understanding that you don't want to be too hard on yourself.
Right.
And then you start thinking about what things could you have done to make sure that the rent is paid or that the bill is paid next time, and do what you would need to do for the next time to make sure that it's paid. But I mentioned self-care earlier. You don't want to be so hard on yourself. You want to love yourself. You want to be patient with yourself. You want to take time to get yourself to that space of just making the right choices, so you won't be in that particular situation again. So it's pretty much the same thing. How you deal with yourself and your feelings, because when you do it good for yourself, it's going to pour out and be good for those that are around you.
All right. So yeah, I was just asking that because sometimes we can get emotional with ourselves. Sometimes we say we turn away from maybe a trait that we know is not good for us, maybe a personality trait that we know is not good for us. We want to get far away from it, but something will trigger it. Maybe it's a person, maybe it's a situation that'll bring it right back up. So what do you recommend there? Maybe, I'm just using this as an example. I'm not going to let nobody worry me no more. But then there's that one person. There's that one person. What do you recommend as far as your emotion when maybe that person triggers it? Just the look, just seeing them triggers you, triggers your emotion about them. Maybe they left a bitter taste in you. I don't know. But I'm just saying, so that's an emotion. Maybe it's not something that happened right there instantly, but maybe it's something that's happened before. And so how do you navigate to make sure that person doesn't trigger that emotion that you feel about them? Is there a way? Is it only Jesus?
Exactly. That's a good question, Glenn. I'm glad you asked that. And it's just pray for the person. I'm serious. You just pray for the person and just forgive the person.
Yeah.
And one thing we need to know with EQ is that we can only control ourselves and not anyone else.
That's right.
We have to release what is beyond our control, which is everything outside of us. That's intrinsic motivation. And a lot of things what they say about a society, you doing what society says and all of that. No, I don't believe in none of that. We are going to do what we want and how we feel. So to answer just your question, you just want to develop in your own personal heart. Just let go of whatever it may have been that caused you to feel this certain way about this person, and just forgive and pray, and know that you deserve personally to feel good no matter who you see, no matter who you are around. You deserve that. You deserve happiness. You deserve good feelings all the time. And when I say good feelings, I want to just touch on that for a second. There are no negative or bad emotions. That each emotion has value. So it's okay to listen to each and every one. So whether it's anger, fear, boredom, frustration, all the way up to joy and happiness, and on that spectrum, all of them are valuable, and you can listen to them. But if there's something that you're holding on to from the past, you want to work on letting that go, and you want to work on just forgiving. Pray for them, and then allow God to remove those feelings for you about that person, or remove yourself from ever seeing that person again. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes we have to say, you know what, I cannot. I have to love you from afar, and I love you, but you have to stay over there. Sometimes we just have to do that. We can't just always be around people who push our buttons or who put us in that particular state. It's just like unfollowing somebody on social media that you can't stand, or let me just unfollow you and I don't have to see you no more. Problem solved.
Okay. All right, Chick. I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you go on forward. Thank you.
Drink my tea.
Right?
No, it's water. Sometimes you gotta just get real with it, but it's all real though. this real. This is too real, you guys. Like, really, I really mean that. Learn emotional, practice it, and is your life will turn around, your relationships will turn around.
And I think it's important, especially for women, and there's always quite a bit of women on the broadcast, but I think it's important for women, to take that time and space with one another to make sure that that our emotions toward one another are in a good place.
Yeah.
And not, I agree.
Yeah, you can develop it. You can develop it because it's not that bad. You have absolutely no control over that person and what they've done, what they are doing, what they will do. You have all the control for yourself, and that's a beautiful control. That's powerful control. I mean, for yourself, not controlling your emotions, but just regulating yourself.
Right, and I think too, to add on to that, is to make sure that when you are in that space, it's for you. It's not to control the other person. It's not to control the other person, but to control you. No matter what they do or say or how, it's your space. Is your space learning how to control your emotion towards that other person. So
exactly.
Okay. All right. I'm getting EQ.
You getting it? All right. Yeah. How about you, Pam? How you doing over there? What you doing, Pam? You doing good? What you doing, girl?
I'm gonna take
that's a question, sweetie.
We also had a question. Let me ask this real quick before I lose it. And it was from Miss Vicky Coffee. She said, let me put it on here. There are those who have no personal accountability, so listening to self can be misleading. What would you recommend as a source person start to learn EQ?
Okay, from what I'm hearing, she's speaking of someone who says no accountability.
Okay.
And then what would I recommend? Can you repeat the last part?
What would you recommend as a resource person to start to learn? I'm assuming that she said to start to learn EQ.
Okay, a resource person to start to learn EQ would be me. I can give you some resources. The person who wants to learn EQ would have to be willing to, has to willing to make change in their life. Okay. So again, it's that control thing of you being in control of yourself and not being in control of someone different or someone else. Okay. So it's not really about the other person. EQ is about yourself. So I'm not sure if you want her to have her clarify her question. If she's talking about somebody else, you have to let that go and give them that space to decide on their own if they want to make changes, positive changes in their life. Does that answer her question, or did I miss something?
Let me see if she has a new. No, I don't see anything down here, but she does have another question. It almost sounds the same. Maybe this is what she wanted us to read to. What would you recommend as a resource for a person to start to learn?
Oh, okay, that's clear. I see it there. Okay, I have two resources that I can refer you to. One of them is 6seconds.org, so the Emotional Intelligence Global Community. And another one is a book called, it's by Daniel Goleman, Goleman. It's Emotional Intelligence, Why It Matters More Than IQ. So you can start with those two particular resources, and it'll change your life. Thank you, Vicki.
Okay, let's see if we have any more. But anyway, we're going to move on. I think we have a couple of more questions. A couple of more questions. Okay, Pam, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. The next question I have for you is based upon the podcast that you did with Dr. Vibe. And the topic was the importance of emotional intelligence and vulnerability for young single men. Why is it important to reach young single men with emotional intelligence?
I'm glad you asked that question. Thank you so much, Pam. Most men were brought up to suppress their emotions, and they were taught that showing emotion is a sign of weakness, or a sign of being, like a girl and things of that nature. So when they suppress their emotions, they basically suppress a part of themselves. Their emotions are their birthright. Their emotions are who they are. And when you suppress your emotions and things happen in your life that are not that are frustrating, or things that go wrong, or unhealthy relationship with a parent, that can cause that man to be angry, and then that man can go into relationships with anger, and we know what can happen after that. So it's really, that's why I chose to work with men primarily, because they were the ones who were told to suppress their emotions, and this is not a healthy way to be. Emotional intelligence, it has only been around about 40 years now, and we want to make it mainstream. So thank you, Glenda, for bringing me here.
You okay, Tiffany?
We want to make this emotional intelligence mainstream so everyone can know about this. And no matter how you receive the help, no matter how you learn about it, I recommend it for everyone, because our relationships are falling apart. I'm divorced now. I don't have to be divorced right now because of what we dealt with our unruly emotions and emotional abuse and things that just didn't have to be if we were emotionally intelligent. Simple as that. So when we want to help our men out of that state, help our men to understand that it's okay to cry, help our men understand that it's okay to talk to somebody about how you feel. It's okay to open up. It's okay to go to counseling. It's okay to see a therapist. It is okay for you, because this is your life, that you are. Your life is your only relationship. You are your only relationship with your only most important relationship is with yourself. You want to do this for you. No one outside of you, not society or anybody else, can tell you who you are, tell you what you look like, or tell you who you're acting like. Okay, and if they do, you might want to educate them on EQ and how important it is for a person to get to know themselves and be able to just tune into that gift that God has given them to live a better life, to have better relationships.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching a video on Oprah Winfrey, and she was saying that when she was a little girl, her grandmother used to spank her. And as she would spank her, she would tell her, don't cry, stop crying, put a smile on. And so it took her emotions. She wasn't able to, as you said, have emotional intelligence. So she was kind of mixed up as far as emotions go. And then she had a mother who maybe she was doing the best that she could, but really, if you look at it, it was a form of emotional abuse. So her emotions were all messed up until she was able to accept herself for who she was, the way that she looked, and able to understand what she had to offer in life. It wasn't based upon someone else. It was based upon her own self-worth. So yes, I do believe, I agree with you that men need that, but women also need that. We all need that.
We all do. We
Yeah.
all do. We all do. Yes. Yes, we do. Thank you for sharing that, Pam. I did not even know that about Oprah. And it's just so unfortunate. And we do understand our history as a people and what happened. But it's time to make a change. It's time to time have changed, and it's time to continue to make that change so we can be healthy and happy, keep our relationships together, and just get along out there. And no matter what type of relationship it is.
That's good. I'm going to go to one. We have a question here. That's good. Yeah. Okay, Deborah has a question. Is there a certification for emotional intelligence counseling?
Yes, there is. You would go to 6seconds.org.
navigate by forgiveness. Navigate by forgiveness.
That'll be helpful. There's other steps as well, but that's definitely one way you can navigate. Yes.
Okay, we have one by Kim Davis. I'm just gonna let we try to slip it in here because I didn't know we was gonna go this long. we have how do you will in your thoughts and emotions when they seem to run off on you so quickly.
Okay, you can start to do that by taking time out for yourself, just to self-reflect, and also to meditate. Meditation will also help change your life because it's going to help you with this body, that mind that we have. We have like a monkey mind, and it's always on the go. So her thoughts are running off so quickly. So start meditating and just take time out for yourself and let everything go. Sometimes we do have to just turn off the TV, turn off the social media, whatever it is, let work go for a little bit, whatever it is. Take that time out for yourself, whether it could just be 30 minutes and just sit and just be. Just be and listen to your body because all of the information you need is right within here. You can become your own therapist, your own counselor. You don't have to go anywhere because you're going to become so powerful in this that all the answers you need is just, they're already there. You'll just be able to pull them out quick. Thank you so much, Kim.
Thank you.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah. Know your pursuit and to your purpose, love without fear. Know it's okay to have separation and distance and love in forgiveness. Mm-hmm. I think another thing is to try to learn that people, I found out in just my growing up as an adult is that if you find yourself in a place where you're just a little bit calmer than what you used to be, or a little bit more mature than what you used to be, always remember that there's somebody at a level that you were at one time.
Exactly.
And to realize that, and that helps a lot for me. When I'm fixing to go off, wait a minute, Glenda, wait a minute. There was a time you was right there. You was right there.
Grace.
Right.
Yes.
That's great because that's whatever it is, you're going to start. Solutions are just going to come out of nowhere. And Glenda, right. you just said what one solution could be. It's just knowing that particular person is not, is where you used to be. So it's about having compassion as well. Have compassion for those who are on their journey. We're all on our journey. We're all on our different spaces and places in our journey. Mm-hmm. And we just have to have that compassion for those who are still finding their way.
Right. And I think, and nobody has arrived nowhere.
Exactly.
My emotions still fly off just as they did 25 years ago. I mean, exactly. All I need is the right situation. But what I have learned to do, I'm just going to, an example with me and my husband, we got married, I was 19, he was 20, so of course, no emotional intelligence was nowhere around.
That's right.
So we would, when I argue with him, he's not arguing, I'm the one, right? I'm the one. So I think that in time, I had to learn in my relations with my husband is to not use my anger or my emotions that I feel at the time personally. You know what I'm trying to say? To not feel it to where the point was, you know what, you ain't getting dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Nothing else. But you ain't getting dinner tonight.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Taking it further than where it needs to be. Stay right here at this argument, solve it, get it over with.
That's right.
And I had to learn that very early in my marriage is to make sure that I don't let things linger. And of course, the Bible talks about that, but don't let things linger on until the next day. And, being mad 4 days, being mad 4 days. I had to grow in, you got a name for it now, emotional intelligence and Jesus. but I had to grow to the point to not allow that to disrupt our relationship, to disrupt that by hanging on to something too long. And not only in my relationship with my husband, in the relationship with my children, in the relationship with my friends, or a relationship with someone, maybe that she's not my friend or he's not my friend, but maybe, something they've done has riled me emotionally, so I think I had to really, really sit back and give an account of myself. Well, what is your role in being so angry? Why are you so angry? Why are you so emotional about a certain situation? So I think in time that you learn a lot. Time does a lot. Time does a lot.
I'm just a few years younger than you, Glenda, but one of the things that's very true, I've come to a point where I've learned that everything can't be resolved. And sometimes you just got to let it go.
Let it go.
And if you don't, it's going to drive you crazy, and it's going to drive that wedge. But it goes back to forgiveness. But I've learned just got to let it go. You got to pick your battles, know.
I've learned to keep that. Nobody's free of it. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. Me and my husband have been married for 44 years. There's no such thing as a perfect marriage. But what you do learn is to keep it right here. Let's don't go outside what we're talking about. Let's stay right here, stay focused, and solve this issue right here. Took years for each of us to learn that. But it's learning how to just stay focused, we human. We still go crazy sometimes. But you have to remember, okay, put those guardrails up. Don't take it nowhere else. Stay right here. So is that one of your things with emotional intelligence, is to make sure you deal with whatever the issue is that causes you to be emotional? Do you stay right there? Or I know you say about your space, but are you staying right there with that one thing and not carrying it on to something else?
Yeah, that's definitely something that I went through as well. Thank you so much for being vulnerable and letting us know that, Glenda. And it happens. And emotional intelligence is you can take some space, especially when you're working with someone else, especially your spouse. But have that, you would have that that agreement that okay. Let's say, we come to a disagreement and we get, to a point where we're, heated. Okay, we're not going to take no more than 12 hours. We're not going to take no more than 24 hours or something like that. Have that, having some type of agreement to know that what you're going to take that time to cool off and take that time to have your space so you can think about what the best outcome could be for yourself and him as well. And he's doing the same thing. And then you guys can come together and be more calm and come and talk about what those solutions can be. So it's not about EQ is not about being perfect or anything, because we're going to be human, but it's just about us just making some choices that will work for us.
Yeah.
My choice in my marriage may not work with the same decisions you have in your marriage, but it's going to work for your marriage. Mine's going to work for mine. So it's about working to those outcomes that is more appropriate and more effective. I remember, my anger got me thrown in jail before. Okay, so it was just it happened, and that's the way I just wasn't. I allowed my emotions to get the best of me at that time. Yeah. So things are going to happen. Yeah. So it's just that we're going to see and we're going to notice our mistakes. We're going to notice what we could do better next time, and we're going to give ourselves, that time with ourselves to know that we're going to be able to move towards that muscle that we're building of EQ. Because once you start practicing it in your life, it's going to get so much easier. Remember, I said at the beginning of the podcast, I said your buttons won't even be pushed. Wow. It's just going to get simple. It's going to get so simple for you once you take that time for yourself and start practicing everything that you can learn through EQ.
Okay, I have a question in here. How do you get rid of your hard emotions where you don't cry and you're soft on your feelings for others?
Let's see. How do you get rid of your hard emotions?
Where you don't have to cry, and if you're soft on your feelings for others.
We don't get rid of our emotions. I would probably need more information to understand what she means by this. It's okay to cry. I see what she's saying about hard emotions and not crying.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about praying for the person. We talked about forgiveness. We talked about understanding that they're in a different journey. Different space in their journey. Having compassion for the other person, and you just knowing that you deserve better, that you deserve to know that you want to feel better about this person, and you have control over how you feel. You want to feel that way. You want to feel better, so you really can. Just going through those few steps, and you may have softer feelings for others. It's not like it's a crime to not like somebody. It's not like it's a crime or to say, hey, I gotta love you from afar. Please stay over there. So it's more so of, you get to choose. This is your life. You get to choose how you want to live it, how happy you want to be, how you want to navigate through it. And some people are just not for you. Some people you're not for some people. So
Right.
that may not be a relationship there, and that's okay. It's not like, again, EQ is not about being perfect and being la 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 to everybody in the world, and we are all just oh no. It's just about you making the right choices for you, no matter what those choices can be. And sometimes they're hard choices. Sometimes they are hard choices, but you being okay and being at peace with those choices.
That's good. We're gonna have to move on, ladies. We're at the end. Go ahead, Pam.
Thank you for your question, sweetheart.
Yeah. Thanks, Glenda.
Okay, well, I can wrap up my last two questions, put them together. Now, you may have answered this already, but we'll just recap if you already have. And my next question for you is, what is your process to bring someone into the awareness of how to express their emotion and handle interpersonal relationships with good judgment? And then how can we reach out to you?
Okay, I'll make it quick. I know we're short on time. I offer a 8-step process that is knowledge-based, interactive, called the Why You Matter Playbook. You would contact me through Tiffany, my email at Tiffany, Tiffany, at youremotionsmatter.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, this has definitely been enlightening.
Yeah.
And we've had a lot of good questions, a lot of feedback also. So thank everyone out there for your feedback, your questions, and your comments. And also remember, if you could, to please share this information. Share it on your Facebook.
Good. So we're going to move on into we want to thank you, Tiffany, for coming on tonight. We're not quite finished. We're going to give a couple of announcements. Thank you so much for coming on. And thank you to our crowd tonight on our chat line. Thank you for coming in and always supporting, because we bring them on so you can ask questions. So we really appreciate that. And it's letting us know that what we're trying to do is to give you information to help all of us. Me, Pam, and my sister Linda isn't here tonight, but we're not free of anything too. We're learning just as you're learning. We're learning just as you're learning. So we're grateful that Tiffany came on tonight. Ms. Norwood came on tonight to help us with that. So we're going to go into our announcements, and then we're going to dismiss. And look like in the church, we're going to dismiss. Go ahead.
Next week, we're going to be talking about barriers to higher education. So, it is also our higher education empowerment program season. The fall session is going to begin in October. The first session will be Saturday, October the 9th. And the second session will be Saturday, November 6th. You can register if you're interested in obtaining a higher education or even a trade. You can register at No Sister Left Behind, the number 2.org /programs. Or even if you're at our website, you can click on the programs icon, and it will tell you about our higher educational empowerment program. Mm-hmm. We're doing we have women who went last season, fall season, for college, and Miss Glenda is one of those.
Well, pray for me with this math.
So you talk about breaking barriers.
Right, my Lord.
But if you're interested in obtaining a higher education, please, that's what we're here for. We're here to help each other. And we can get you involved in our program, our higher educational empowerment program. We have mentors. We have people who will take you through the process, financial aid, whatever you need to get you where you need to get. That's what we're here for. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we have here. Ms. Glenda, go ahead and talk about vaccinations, if you would.
Vaccination. Get vaccinated. There was a news report from Channel 23 that COVID, people that have contacted COVID since the holiday is up 2,000 cases here in Kern County. In Kern County, of course, that's just not Bakersfield, but in Kern County, that's a lot of cases. And so they're really pushing vaccination. Please get vaccinated. I'm not going to say any more about that because I know a lot of people maybe don't want to get vaccinated, but I want you to know that I really believe you should get vaccinated. Get vaccinated so we can get over this. So we can start wearing the mask. I don't want to wear a mask just as bad as anybody else don't want to wear a mask, but I want to keep myself protected, and then I want to protect you. So we have to do those things. And until we come out of this, we're going to have to do what it takes to be able to be back like we were at one time. Okay, so I just want to push vaccination.
Very true. Very true. do your own research, and with anything, pray on it. But yes, it's very real. I've lost several people, including my next door neighbor, and and I think all of this could have been prevented had those people just taken a vaccination. Not saying that they wouldn't get sick, not saying that they wouldn't get COVID, but maybe they would still be alive. So it is a personal choice, and I respect that. But I would just ask that you consider it.
Yeah.
And then don't forget Tuesday. Woohoo!
Vote.
Vote.
Don't forget to vote. That's your right.
Let your voice be heard on Tuesday. Either way, just get out and vote. Exercise that right that we fought so hard for. I remember my grandmother. She was ill. She was old. She was like in her 80s, but she would walk to her polling place. And so I never let an opportunity to vote pass me up, because there too many people have died for that right. And our people have died for the right just to vote. So honor them, honor yourself, and let your voice be heard. And membership, I think I've talked about membership. But I want to thank everybody who have already joined, No Sister Left Behind, and that they're behind us in the fight and what we're trying to achieve here. And then I ask, if you're not a member, or if you know someone who could benefit from becoming a member of No Sister Left Behind, please share this information with them. And if you decide, well, you know what, I don't want to become a member just yet, we gladly accept donations. Any amount, $5, $10, whatever God lays on your heart to help this organization, we would certainly appreciate it. And that's all I have, Ms. Glenda.
Thank you, Ms. Pam. You're always so excellent. I love it. Again, we want to thank Tiffany J. Norwood for being on with us tonight. And ladies, again, I want to thank you on the side for coming in on the chat line and just making Tiffany talk. Because Tiffany had to talk tonight. So we thank you so much, Tiffany. We appreciate you, and we'll be back with you again. So we thank you so much. We thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you both. Thank you so much. It's just an honor and pleasure to be here.
Thank you, dear. We appreciate you. Again, good night, everyone, and have a good evening. We love you all. Bye-bye.